Nike, or Nike as we call it in Ireland, ruined a really good phrase for me, and it is just do it. So, the idea of just do it by Nike, I think it's so cool. It's such a cool catchphrase, but it's lost all meaning because we see it everywhere. So, you see it on their ads, you see it on the t shirts, somebody just walking up the road and it says just do it. And all I think of is Nike and buying shoes and t shirts or whatever. But it's such a good catchphrase for life. If you're like me, I am a planner. So I have like so many lists. I recently learned Notion and I've been using Notion to make lists within lists within lists and just overly exaggerated plans that are not needed. And I find it so easy to get stuck in this planning phase. So if I have an idea, like I want to start a web design agency, or I want to get into freelancing, or I want to learn how to code, or then I did learn how to code, and then I thought, oh, well, maybe it's better to do the design stuff with low code tools, and so on and so on. And you just get stuck up in this phase of planning. And one thing I have to always reel myself in from is just overly planning. And I was talking to a few people here. I'm in Portugal at the moment, that's where I live. And I noticed that a lot of people who have these kind of ambitions to want to go and work for themselves or start freelancing, we get stuck in this phase of planning and you don't actually just take the risk and do it. So one thing I see a lot is, oh, I want to start my own business, and then they're thinking of all the possible boxes that they need to check. So I need to get a lawyer, I need to get an accountant, I need to register my business, I need to la 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 la. All that stuff is important for sure. You're going to have to do it eventually. But if you just want to get started in anything, let's say a service, for instance, like if you have learned how to code and you know how to code, think of some service you can offer to somebody that's not within your current role. So I made a video that went quite well talking about ways to make money while learning to code. So go and watch that, and that'll give you a couple of different ideas of things that you can do as a coder, as a service. But one thing you could do, honestly, if you just have somebody in your family that runs a business, or you know businesses that you go to all the time, you've got an uncle, a family friend, or whoever, you're bound to know somebody like an accountant. They've probably got a website. And you could just ask to take a look at it. Ask if there's things that you can improve on it. Ask how can you add value to their business. You don't have to charge anything. You can get paid in kind of referrals or experience, let's say, at the start. But just kind of tinker around, mess around. And if you can, try and charge something, all right? And this is what I've been doing is I do very cheap work at the start to build up a reputation. So no matter what it is. But why am I talking about this? Because it's so easy to think, oh, I need to work really hard, learn everything I possibly can about coding in order to apply for jobs or to get any kind of an income. But what I would say is to just do it. Just go for it. Take a risk. You're probably going to make some mistakes. That's normal. Probably going to get stuck for work at times. You're probably going to feel low about yourself. That's all normal, that's all part of the game. But if you're just waiting for the perfect time all the time, it's never going to come, and you'll just always be in the planning phase. And then you think, oh, well, maybe I'll try drop shipping, or maybe I'll try e-commerce, or maybe I'll be a consultant for XYZ different thing. And if you're just always switching to the next thing without actually doing anything, just stay planning, you get nowhere, unfortunately. I would say just go for it. Whatever you're thinking of doing, just do it. There's this concept called MVP, and it's a minimal viable product. And the idea is from Lean Startup, I think is the book that kind of made it famous. But there's a concept in manufacturing called lean manufacturing, or Lean Six Sigma. Don't worry, we don't have to know about that. The idea is to just cut out waste. But in terms of a career or marketing or a business or startups, is you think of what is the minimum viable service I could offer, okay? So if you're thinking of a service, maybe you're doing web design, okay? The minimum viable service you could offer is probably building templated websites for free using something like Canva sites, and then you charge a monthly subscription fee for hosting or maintenance or updates or whatever. to some small business. Maybe you find a creator online. I just did a video recently looking at Canva sites, and they're actually pretty good. So if you're interested in getting into web design or starting a web agency, you could potentially just reach out to small-time creators who don't have a website. Maybe they just have one of those link list things. You see them all over the place. And you could offer them, hey, I'll build you a website for free if you sign up for a monthly subscription of, I don't know, $10 a month, $15 a month, something like that. You go buy the domain for them, set up their Canva site really quick. That would be a minimal viable service. And if you like that process and you find, oh, I'm actually pretty good at making the sales, or I like interacting with the clients, or, oh, there's actually other things I can add to this, like scheduling, email, whatever, SEO, adding blogs, or maybe you want to add another different type of website, then you can start to build it up. But instead of planning, oh, I have to learn how to code, or I'm going to learn everything that could possibly be asked, you just start with the minimal viable service. So that is something that I highly recommend. It's something that I struggle with to this very day. I started my newsletter with this kind of mindset of minimal viable product. So I just posted stuff, okay, that I thought would be useful, and it's starting to become more and more useful as I add things, personal reflections, learnings, or different things. Same with this YouTube channel. I made a couple of very basic videos. This is a very basic video, but the whole idea was to help other people that were in a situation that I was in a year or two previously, and helping people with whatever I can, okay? Stuff that I'm discovering, I want to share with you. So think of your minimal viable service that you could possibly offer, and then just remember Nike, okay? Just do it, go for it. It can't be worse than not trying. That's it for now. Ciao.